This is Rip and Joe from Dover Living. Today we want to talk to you a little bit about covered spaces around your poolscape. So that can involve pergolas, arbors, cabanas, porches. So I'm going to throw it to Joe and get your thoughts.
Well, I get a lot of people when I walk out into their backyard, they want to do a cabana, they want to cover space. And by the way, those are awesome no matter what they are, because you're out in your back pool. If you want to get out of the sun, you have this space that you can get under. So we're out in people's backyard, and I look behind us, and they have this big 16 by 20 wood deck off the back of their house. But then they want to go out there and build a cabana, and the first thing I say, well, you kind of already have a roof, even though you have a deck, but all you need to do is put undercover. You know, those come really nice now. You can do can lights, you can do ceiling fans, and that way you can just walk straight out of your house, whether it be a basement or a walkout. But usually when people's got a deck, they're going to be walking out from their basement, and have that as your covered space. It's a lot less money just already taking something you already have.
What about all the posts that you come out there?
You know, you can go in and say, like a lot of people, they have all these posts running down, and you can easily, and it's not even that big of an expense, get your carpenter to do an LVL beam going across, and you can actually take out some of those posts. I mean, you can go up to, easily with a wood LVL, you can go easily 18 or 20 feet. But if you even want to go further, you can get a steel beam and get rid of all those posts. So that way, because posts, even though they're only every 6 or 7 feet, they can be, when you're talking about furniture or walking out, they can be kind of a barrier.
It's a visual barrier for sure.
Yeah. And so, but even if you don't have a deck, I always think a covered space is better. Attach it onto the house. It can be a gable roof, it can be a slanted roof. But just me personally, when I walk out of my house, I have this 20 by 20 space I go in. And a lot of times, I don't even continue walking to the pool. We're just kind of hanging out back there. Mm-hmm. And, you know, another episode, we were talking about the location of the pool. You have the pool right there, too, so you can actually sit under your covered space and the pool being right there with you. So what you have, same thoughts, different thoughts? What's your take on it?
So I think that is a great way to, one, you're sharing that space with the house. You're bringing that pool entertainment space closer, a lot less expense because you already have some of the structure there. You're also not taking up space that you might use for lawn or fireplace, fire pit, bigger pool, whatever, out in the lawn area, out in landscape. So you're kind of using that space up closer that you already have. So I think that's all good. Yeah. Now, pool house versus cabana. How do you define cabana versus pool house?
Well, I don't think they're the same at all, because like a cabana to me, sometimes you can put on a back wall on it. It'll be a TV wall, or it might be a screening wall off your neighbors. But a pool house is really like another house. It's got AC, it's got heat. It's, you know, usually kind of close to your pool, where basically you can go in there and shut the doors, and it's really just a house next to your pool. You know, it's got everything, that insulation's got everything. So similarly, you're talking about a massive cost difference between those two also, you know.
So they both get you out of the rain.
Yeah.
They both get you out of the sun.
Yeah.
But one is not a conditioned space. It's not, I mean, you can have heaters and stuff, but it's not a heated and cooled kind of space.
That's right.
A cabana's open.
You have to be that very special customer.
You're all special customers.
Well, I'm talking about as far as like, it's a lot. It's not only a lot of money to build like a pool house. You have to, I don't mean a special customer, that's a certain situation where you need one, you know, because most people are living in their house. So it just kind of takes that unique situation that you would even think about.
Well, if you add a bathroom, you know, you have the plumbing that you need to tie into.
Yeah. I mean, we just did a pool for a baseball player, and he's got a pool house, and it's in fact, we're about to do another one. We're going to turn this barn into a pool house. It's going to be in back of the pool. You know, a lot of things on a cabana, which I love, is you can sink the cabana down. You can put the cabana right next to your pool and sink it down 18, 24 inches, and it'd be like a sunken living room. You can have bar stools on the pool, have maybe a bar top hanging over the pool, and it would have that sunken in feeling. So when you're sitting there, you feel like there's water there right next to you at kind of eye level.
What drives the size of a cabana?
To me, if you do 18 by 18, 18 by 24, you could probably pretty much do anything you wanted to there. The size determines on really what you want to do with it. Because when you start looking at furniture, and a lot of times what I'll recommend to people is go into a couple of your rooms in your house, measure out those rooms and see what furniture is in those rooms in your house. And that's going to give you a good feeling of what size that you want it. Are you going to use it for just put a big table? Are you going to use it, do you want couches and chairs,
Is
or
it a
what do
split where you actually have the kitchen in there?
Yeah, or are you doing it just to have a kitchen? To basically a kitchen and a bar where you only maybe need it 14 feet by
So you don't
16.
have the dining area.
Yeah.
So I kind of look at that as like, okay, either kitchen is one space, dining would be another space. If you had a fireplace in there, that's its own little living room kind of space. So each element takes up so much room, so that would kind of dictate the size.
You really do. You got to think about what are you using the space for? Do you want to have a kitchen with a table? Do you want to have the table area and then have a living room area with it? Then all of a sudden you might be talking about 18 feet by 26 feet, 24 feet, and that's what really drives the size. I mean, not only the space of your yard, but what exactly are you going to be using it for? And also you could say, if you want to have privacy from your neighbors, if you put it on the side of the pool, you could do a screen wall in back of it. In back of that wall, you could put a storage, continue your roof and have a storage area. Some people put a bathroom there,
Pool equipment could go behind
pool
that
equipment
wall.
could go behind that wall also. Yeah, you don't even have to have an actual building. You can just have a screen wall and have your pool equipment in the back. So
Yeah, so if you're in a small yard, you could do like an entertainment wall. We talked about that. And so you have the screening wall, maybe you have a slight roof there, the TV's kind of go under you there. Maybe that's a little bit off and you can put some equipment behind there, some storage behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really the type of roof, there's like a slanted roof that you can do. If you want to come off your house, a lot of that, if you come off your house, depends on where your windows are at. If you have a lot of second story windows and they're all odd shape, you might be forced to do a slanted roof. Or a gable roof. It just depends on where your windows are at on your house and how your house is kind of laid out on which style that you want. I just visited these people this morning. They have a lake in back of them, and on the side we have an area that we're going to put that we designed a cabana there. And at first on the design, they actually had a gable roof. So on the house, you're actually looking at one side of the roof. But just today, we decided, let's do a slanted roof that goes up toward the pool. So that way it's not going to be blocking so much when they're up there on their upstairs deck. You're not going to be blocking so much view of the lake. And plus they have this modern kind of feel of their pool. And so I feel like that slant makes it more modern feel, like slanting it up towards the pool.
Well, I'm working on right now. They don't have a pool, but we're doing an outdoor kitchen. And their covenants don't allow them to add a roof structure to their existing house. Boy, it's screaming. That's what
weird.
I know. So what we're going to see if we can do it anyways. But otherwise, what we're doing is we're doing a shed roof with posts right up as close to the house as we can. We'll extend that roof back that way, and we're shedding it out this way, so the kitchen will be covered.
Yeah.
There. So.
And I guess if budget comes into play, you can always do an arbor or pergola. It's just kind of having a structure, which those are like you have beams, so it's going to be open to the weather. But you can grow vines on it. You can get some shade in there, and just sometimes the looks of a structure, that 3D look, just really helps out kind of around the pool.
And I was working on a project where we had a lot going on, but we had this one space that just kind of bled out. And we didn't want to go too far with anything, but we just felt like we needed something to kind of finish that space. So we did an arbor. We had 4 posts, stone bases, and an angled top there. And then we had wires and vines and stuff growing out there and just kind of finished the space out. So it took up less room than this table.
Yeah.
and it was just kind of a backdrop.
Or sometimes if people's got a wood deck and they walk out and their neighbors are close, you could do like a little short arbor, like 4 feet coming out from the house, and then you could do a screening wall, or the basement or the main level. But because you can't just come in, sometimes it kind of warrants having instant coverage from your neighbors as far as privacy, and it takes trees and landscape to grow a long time. So you could go along your property or go along the pool or the patio and build just a like an arbor and put like a screen wall, because it would just look odd just to build a wood wall. It would have to be kind of attached to something. But yeah, cabanas look great as a vocal piece in back of the pool too. And so so if you have the roof coming up and you're looking out and you have the cabana there, you might have a fireplace, you might have a kitchen, and that's an awesome look from your house also. So I guess it just kind of depends on your situation in your yard. And
Well, as far as structures like that, the only other thing that comes immediately to mind is the entryway into the backyard through the fence, the gate there. There's an opportunity there to do a wooden, it doesn't have to be wood, but an entryway there that's kind of, maybe you have plants growing up on it, maybe you have a solid wall, kind of create a point of entry there. That's another interesting little spot to do something.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you got a little information from our perspective on cabanas, arbors, pool houses. So if you got any questions, subscribe to us, comment, give us some of your ideas on what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, and we definitely will do it. But until next time, I'm Joe. It's real. We'll see you then.